It's almost peak wedding season. Today we focus on finding the one that is your wedding dress, your perfect wedding dress for your special day. Hi, my name is Chilekwa, your host and bridal consultant at Chic Bridal Studio. So in today's topic of the Chic Bridal Talk Show, I would like us to discuss or to talk about your wedding dress shopping and finding your perfect wedding dress or finding your dream wedding gown. So firstly, I would like to talk about keeping your mind open. So what does it mean to keep an open mind as you shop for your wedding dress? First of all, if you've booked your wedding fitting appointment or if you haven't yet and your wedding is soon, a few months to go, please go ahead and book in advance. So when it comes to keeping an open mind, it just means you'll be able to change your mind. For some brides, you might end up changing your mind because you might end up choosing the wedding dress you might end up choosing might be very different from what you wanted initially. So this is why keeping an open mind is very important. So when a bridal consultant brings you a wildcard dress, go ahead and try it on, because wedding dresses look very different from a hanger and on a mannequin than it does on your actual body. Okay, so you won't be able to see the patterns, how the dress is flowing. So when you look at your dress, sometimes trying on a wedding dress that you might not even like, you think you do not like, or actually help you change your mind or decide if you really want to settle for the dress that you initially wanted or the dress you might want. Also, an important factor to take into consideration when you're shopping for your wedding dress or when you're looking for your wedding dress is to start early. So when you start early, you won't be able to rush as your wedding draws near. So be sure to start early so that you're not rushing. At the last minute, 2 to 3 months down the line, you're already rushing. So this does not just fall under the wedding dress, but also when you're shopping for your wedding accessories. Make sure that by the time it's 2 months to your wedding dress or 2 months to your wedding day or a month, you have already been sorted out. I know some brides who actually prepare or plan in advance 6 months before. I think that's fine, so that as your day draws near, there are some certain small things that you always forget to take into consideration or to act on, because we forget about them. So it just means when you've covered the bigger things, you'll be able to take care of these small things that always come up at the last minute or that you think you did not need but you end up needing. So always start early to shop for your wedding dress, to shop for your accessories. Sometimes it's not even about it's important also because of availability. Maybe your wedding dress would need being designed from scratch. Maybe you're just not buying a dress that is already in a shop somewhere. Sometimes it could be because you're getting your wedding from overseas. So there are all these factors to take into consideration, and also it just gives you a peace of mind. For the sake of your peace of mind, planning in advance or starting early to shop for your wedding dress is so important. Another factor you'd want to take into consideration as you shop for your wedding dress is limiting your entourage. So if you've booked your wedding dress fitting appointment, who are you bringing along? So who you bring along your dress fitting appointment is so important. Do not bring a whole group. If you've got many friends or many people who are rallying or rooting for you, just bring a few people, maybe 2 or 3 people. It's important. You don't want a lot of noise as you're shopping for your wedding dress. I understand they are your close family, they are your close friends, but also keep in mind that just bring along people whose decision you really value. That is what you need to take into consideration. Bring 2 or 3 people, maybe even 1. Sometimes brides come on their own without anybody tagging along, and that's okay. That's your preference. But if you'd like to bring people, do not bring a lot of people. Just bring 2 or 3 people whose decision you value the most, who will put you first instead of themselves. So it's important to remember that as you're choosing your wedding dress, you're choosing a wedding dress that suits your style and your personality. It's not about them. Remember that it's about you. So those are the few things you need to take into consideration as you're shopping for your wedding dress. So just a recap. So have an open mind, start early, and limit your entourage to at least 2 to 3 people. Okay, so that's about it for today. So I hope you take into consideration these 3 things we've covered as you're shopping for your wedding dress, because it's wedding season. So hopefully you'll be able to take them into consideration and you'll be able to pick 1 or 2 things. So when wedding dress shopping, start early, choose a wedding dress that suits your style, your personality, limit your entourage, and be yourself. Enjoy the journey. Thank you so much for watching. Please tell a bride to be to tell a bride to be, and see you next time. Mwah.